There are two questions that get repeated time and time again as parents leave a new church with their kids. Did you have fun, and what did you learn? In a permanent facility, it's relatively easy to assure that children will give happy, positive answers to both questions. But in a mobile environment, these questions become a little bit more difficult for the new church planner to be sure of these positive answers. One of the biggest issues we run into when planning a site is what to do in children's ministry. We're typically dealing with fairly bland, stock environments, but most churches want to turn them into spaces that kids want to come back to. The challenge here isn't just in how to do it, but how to do it efficiently and effectively. The question is striking a balance between having all the gear you want, making it compelling, and being able to move and store it. We do an awful lot of new churches and schools, which typically are designed for containment rather than entertainment. The challenge here is to soften the rooms so that it becomes a place that kids want to go to. How do we do this? Add fun, mobile items that turn antiseptic school space into a fun space. In comparison to what is spent on the sanctuary, this tends to be very inexpensive and easy to set up. When the thought turns to nurseries, we often find a paradigm that exists with all new parents. We find out that the smallest children require the most gear. The key here is to forget what you would use in a permanent nursery and focus on what can be moved and stored with relative ease. Forget about wood rocking chairs and start thinking about comfortable, mobile alternatives. A great example of this is our folding rocking chair. We can store 13 of them in a space that a single wood glider would take up, and they are also extremely comfortable and inexpensive. We almost always do something about flooring. Two great options are foam floor and our edge-bound carpets. The foam floor has the advantage of being easily cleaned, but it does take a little longer to set up. Our edge-bound carpets store incredibly easy in our carts, and they are a breeze to set up. Due to the volume of equipment, these spaces can be very difficult and time-consuming to set up and tear down if efficiency has not been thought of and considered from day one. We run into too many do-it-yourself churches that come to us to fix the problems that they've gotten themselves into. One thing to remember is to think of mobility when making your equipment decisions. Another important thing to consider is storage space required and durability. Sure, that wood rocking chair is comfortable, but how much space is it going to require? How hard is it to move? And lastly, will it stand up to being moved weekly? For help solving your children's ministry puzzle, please contact a Church on Wheels representative.